Well, I'm going to talk to you about building a waterer for the chickens. Chicken waterer where they can self-water and use a bucket that can be filled up, and this is such a large amount that you only need to fill it up every couple of days, 3 times, maybe every couple 3 days. And it uses these little doohickeys. Don't know if you can see that there, but these are called chicken nipples, and they're a little waterer that they go up and they push that, and that little valve opens a little valve at the top and the water comes down and it drips out and they're able to drink from that. So that's what I'm going to be building today. I have a bucket. This is an old bucket that I've used for many things here on the backyard farm, and you can see it's an icing bucket. Great place to get buckets that you don't have to pay for is most bakeries. I got this, I think, from Costco Bakery. I just every once in a while when I'm over there, I'll go and talk to them and say, hey, do you have any buckets? And sometimes they'll load me with a whole shopping cart full. Sometimes they say they don't have any, but I get all the buckets I need. So I'm going to use this little bucket here. So the first thing we need to do is drill a hole that this threaded part can go into. Now, when you buy these online, I think that they have a special drill bit that it's a fairly rare size of drill bit, but I've found that a 5/16 drill bit works just fine. It's just the slightest bit small, but that makes it a little easier and more snug when it goes in there. I know it's going to hold it really tight. So that's what I use. You can purchase the special drill bit from these whatnot. And I'm just going to put 4 on here. And it's pretty simple, straightforward. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, feeding or watering the chickens is a huge priority, especially in the summertime. They have to have a big access, a lot of access to water in order for them to lay well, for them to be healthy. And this is a great way that can give them all the water they need and also reduce the amount of time that you have to water them. So there's a little, don't know if you can see this, a little rubber washer, and I just put that on there and I start screwing in. I have to give it a little push to get it started. These ones are kind of faded because I pulled them off of the one I used last year. Last year my bucket cracked, and so I'm just making another one. So I pulled these ones off, so they are a little weather faded, but they should work just fine. So I'll just get that in as far as I can go by hand, and I'll grab my crescent wrench here and I'll finish tightening it up. Now when I get to the very end, it is going to have a tendency to kind of slip and then loosen itself, so I'm just going to go until it's snug, and that should be just fine. So I'll get the next one. Kind of got to push down and give a chance for those threads to grip and catch. Once they do, it goes in nice and snug. Just get it in there nice and tight. Okay. A little push to have it catch, and it's going. You could probably use a socket set on this if you wanted to, if you're so inclined, but I'll just use my hands and my little crescent wrench. Some of you might be telling me that that's not a true crescent wrench, but that's alright. That's what I call it. That's what I was raised to call it, a crescent wrench. It kind of has a crescent shape, right? And it works just great. Alright, so you can see in there, there's the waterers where the water fills up into, and then there's the 4 chicken nipples that hang down there, and then the chickens come up and they go tick 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 pick, 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 and that pokes it up, and the water comes out and drips out, and that'll keep them watered for. I have 5 or 6 chickens. I had 6, and then found out one of them was a rooster, and here in the city you cannot have roosters, so I have 5 chickens now. You'll have to excuse the mess of my shop here. I have a large amount of stuff that I've had to store in here and go through. A lot amount of it is the personal effects from my parents who passed away. My mother passed away a while ago, my father just recently, and so went through his place, and so everything's kind of loaded up and piled up in here, and you can't see off camera, but the shop's completely filled. But anyway, we have the chicken water. The next important part is the lid, which I'm going to use the lid from the previous one. You want that covered so that debris, leaves, bugs, things can't get really in there and clog up your water. But you do need a hole, otherwise it'll form a vacuum as they do it, as they poke through it, and it sucks the air out or water down and sucks the vacuum, and then the chickens can't get water, so you want to poke a hole in there. This also makes it easy that when it's ready to water, I just bring the hose and pour it right in there. I don't ever have to take the lid off, and I can just feed them like that. Let me show you what I also have. I need a handle, and I take the handle off of my other broken waterer. I know what you're saying, don't ever poke that towards your hand. And I think you'd be right, because I don't want to shove a screwdriver into my hand. I have to go to the emergency room. There we go. I'll just place that right there and replace it. Oops, come on. Get it in there and just pull it until it snaps. There. Most of these have handles, but this bucket I'm using did not. So now I have my chicken waterer, and I'll show you when we get over to the chicken coop how I do that. But I just wrap this rope chain around twice, and this is a chain from a hanging flower basket, so it works just fine to hang my chicken waterer. So that's going to hang right there, and that's going to hang above there. So we're going to go over to the chicken coop and take a look at how I install this. Alright, here's my little chicken coop here. That I made about 5 years ago. It's probably about time we got a new one. It's a little chicken tractor actually. It has wheels on the back and a handle on the front, and I can wheel it around, and in the winter I usually move it to my garden. I'll let my chickens clean out my garden and fertilize it over the winter, and then I bring it kind of over here to take care of here. So let me show you how I'm going to install this. Oh, one of them's coming out to say hi. I have this bracket for attaching fence posts here, you can see, and then just a bolt that comes through. So let me open this up. This bracket's gonna go through there, and back up and under, but before I do that I got to hook the bucket on. It's going to hang right there. Put that through. Yes, it's a little ghetto, but out here on the backyard farm you make do with what you can. You can buy one of these obviously online, it's pretty easy. Lock that up. Let me put this nail down here because my dogs like to get in and eat the scraps of food left over that the chickens don't eat. Alright, got my hose. I'll show you how it's done. Just put the hose right in there. Let that fill it up. and that'll be good to last my chickens for 2 or 3 days. And just check it. And I think that's a 3-gallon bucket. And chickens will drink about 1 gallon a day, my chickens at least. Alright, and so that's how the chicken waterer works with the chickens. Let me just show you when they were babies. I just took an old water bottle that we got for free at some craft booth or something, and did the same thing, drilled the hole in, screwed that in there, and then they were in a big cardboard box as baby chicks, and I just tied this to the edge, made sure that was open there, and then I just could fill that up, and that stayed tied to the outside, and the baby chicks could feed out of there. You might ask, how much are those? I don't remember exactly. I bought them on Amazon, and they came in a package of 10, and I want to say they were $5 or $6. Not too bad. That's a pretty good investment. But you know, out here in the backyard farm, it's all about making do with what you got, being frugal, finding a way to make it work so that you can feed your chickens, take care of your farm, and not go broke doing it. Obviously, having chickens, it's not really a money-making venture, but it is an important part if you want to know where your food comes from, be self-sufficient, take care of your family, give your kids some chores to do. So yeah, that's how we water our chickens out here on the backyard farm. If you have any questions, leave me notes in the comments and I'll answer them as best I can. Have a good day.